Nicomachean Ethics is Aristotle's most influential work on moral philosophy, devoted to understanding what it means to live well and to become a good human being. Rather than offering a list of rules or commandments, Aristotle approaches ethics as a practical inquiry into human flourishing. Ethics, for him, belongs to politics and education because its aim is not mere knowledge, but the formation of character and the guidance of action. From the outset, he insists that ethical reasoning must be flexible and attentive to circumstances, since human life does not admit of mathematical precision. Aristotle begins by arguing that every action and choice aims at some good, and that the highest good, the ultimate end for which all else is done, is eudaimonia, often translated as happiness or flourishing. This happiness is not a fleeting feeling or pleasure, but a complete and fulfilling life. To understand what such a life consists in, Aristotle asks what is distinctive about human beings. His famous function argument concludes that the human good lies in the rational activity of the soul in accordance with virtue. Happiness, therefore, is not something we merely possess, but something we do. It is an activity of living well over an entire lifetime. Virtue, arete, is central to this account. Aristotle distinguishes between moral virtues, which govern emotions and desires, and intellectual virtues, which perfect the reasoning part of the soul. Moral virtues such as courage, temperance, generosity, and justice are not innate. They are acquired through habit. We become just by doing just acts, and courageous by doing courageous acts. Virtue, Aristotle famously argues, is a mean between extremes, not a strict average, but the right response at the right time toward the right people for the right reasons. Courage, for example, stands between cowardice and recklessness, while temperance lies between self-indulgence and insensibility. A crucial feature of moral virtue is that it involves not only correct action, but correct feeling. The virtuous person takes pleasure in acting well and feels pain at acting badly. This harmony between reason and desire marks true moral character. Because virtue depends on habituation, Aristotle emphasizes the importance of upbringing, laws, and social practices in shaping character. Ethical education begins early, before reason is fully developed, by training emotions and habits so that reason can later guide them effectively. Among the virtues, justice receives special attention. Aristotle treats justice both as a general virtue, obedience to law and concern for the common good, and as a particular virtue concerned with fairness. He distinguishes between distributive justice, which governs the fair allocation of honors or goods according to merit, and corrective justice, which rectifies wrongs in private transactions. Justice, in this sense, is the virtue most directly concerned with others, and it is inseparable from the life of the city. Friendship, philia, occupies an unexpectedly central place in the Nicomachean Ethics. Aristotle devotes two entire books to it, arguing that no one would choose to live without friends, even if they possessed all other goods. He identifies three kinds of friendship: friendships of utility, friendships of pleasure, and friendships of virtue. The highest form, friendship of virtue, exists between good people who admire each other's character and wish the good of the other for the other's sake. Such friendships are rare and require time, shared life, and moral excellence, but they are among the greatest supports of happiness. Aristotle also examines pleasure, rejecting both the view that pleasure is the highest good and the view that it is inherently base. Pleasure, he argues, naturally accompanies perfect activity, much as health accompanies a well-functioning body. When an activity is excellent, its pleasure is likewise excellent. Thus, the pleasures of the virtuous person are better and more truly human than those of the vicious person. Pleasure, properly understood, completes rather than corrupts the good life. The work culminates in a discussion of the intellectual virtues, especially phronesis, practical wisdom, and sophia, theoretical wisdom. Practical wisdom enables a person to deliberate well about how to live and to apply general principles to particular situations. It cannot exist without moral virtue, since one must desire the right ends in order to reason well about the means. Aristotle controversially concludes that the highest and most complete happiness lies in the life of contemplation, the activity of the intellect engaged in truth, because it is the most self-sufficient, continuous, and divine activity available to human beings. Yet he does not deny the value of moral and political life. Rather, he sees contemplation as crowning a life already shaped by virtue. In the final analysis, the Nicomachean Ethics presents ethics as the art of becoming a certain kind of person. Happiness is achieved not by external success alone, nor by momentary pleasure, but by a lifetime of virtuous activity guided by reason, sustained by friendship, and supported by a just political community. Aristotle's enduring insight is that the good life is neither automatic nor accidental. It is the result of deliberate cultivation of character in accordance with human nature and rational excellence.